to the Tempest Universe. I am your host, Manny, and I'm back. Believe it or not, I was supposed to be back a few months ago. However, it didn't work out that way. Unfortunately, I suffered a major loss in my life, and as Big O and I used to say back on the UFO Buster Radio days, life happens, and it definitely derails you from being able to talk about this topic. Now, let's be honest. There's a lot to talk about right now. So much so that I have nothing to talk about right now. And the reason is it's just too damn much. It really is. Everything is going on, and with Congress and whistleblowers and all this nonsense and all this shit is happening behind the scenes that unfortunately most of us don't even know about. But I figured today would be a good day to come back and on this Wednesday and have the Asgardians here because you guys haven't seen them in a while either. Have them on here to talk about what their experience has been the last few months. So we're going to start off one by one. First, we have the one and only Green Man.
Hey.
And his buddy,
Anatoly.
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 Good old Anatoly. And then we have Dre.
How's it going,
down
guys?
in Texas. Not that I'm there as well. And the last one, but not least, the Norm.
Hey,
How's it
everybody.
going?
No.
Hey, Manny. Welcome back. Hey, Green Man.
Yeah.
Hey, Dre.
Hey, Norm.
So everybody seems so sad. Anyway, just to make sure we all understand this, so I guess the video version of this podcast will be back every 2 weeks. I have another podcast I'm working on that has nothing to do with UFOs or aliens, but just in general about the crazy shit about life. But today is about UFOs and aliens and the fact that things are heating up, but at the same time, they feel like they are not what they should be. But as much as information that we have out there, as much as people are talking about, nothing's really happening. But I do have, we kind of took a poll, see who's going to go first. And the Norm said
Hi.
he'll be batting up first.
There you go, Norm.
I am fantastic, man. I couldn't be better. It's really good to be back with you guys. And unfortunately, Manny, you're not wrong, man. There isn't very much going on. About the only thing I've ever heard lately is about the Stephen Greer financial problems he's been going through with some of his production companies, Netflix, and how they don't want to release some things because of certain money and things like that. And I feel for the guy. He's put out so much, and now it just seems like he's hitting the proverbial wall, so to speak. So I don't know. I've seen a lot of his videos, but nothing really conclusive, right? I mean, still, even though he's put in such an effort, I still don't have any factual things. And I think the one I remember is that little alien that they found, and that came up to be not conclusive either, right? So, but he says he's got some stuff, and I just don't know why he's not releasing, like, just generally, right? Like, do a podcast, just do a podcast, Steve, and put it out there. But I think it has something to do with the finances and things like that, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's been pretty quiet on the UFO front. Last night around Las Vegas, there was a couple of Chinese lanterns perhaps floating around, but that's about it.
Damn Chinese. They're into
Yeah.
everything. But the whole
China.
Stephen Greer thing is going around because James Fox is also reporting that his production company doesn't want to produce his current documentary that he's working on, which has footage, which I guess he took some footage of the hearing with David Grush, and he was going to put it into that production. However, the production company saying, no, we don't want to produce the video. So,
That's
yeah.
unfortunate because, I mean, that was pretty public, right? I mean, everybody saw the stuff. I don't see why you can't just throw it in there. But even with those hearings, I think they were supposed to have closed door hearings, right? Have those happened? Have they not happened?
Yeah, there was one about a week ago, week and a half ago.
Okay.
They were talking about it, but it seems like all the Congress folks came out just saying that they basically got the runaround. Nothing really was released. And David Grush was not allowed to be in that skiff.
Oh, they didn't allow man. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to be in there. So go fuck yourself. Basically, what they said. Yeah.
But they
And so
did, they did say those congressmen or congress ladies that came out of there, came out of that skiff, their faces were like they seemed almost shocked. That's the other thing I heard about that. I don't know.
they were like, what?
They were shocked.
They were
Like they
shocked.
were like, "Oh, really? This is why we're doing things." You know, like they actually told them some good information, some real information, and like, "Hey, that's why you gotta keep quiet and stop asking questions."
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that
Blind look
most
in
of
their
them,
face.
most of them have already said that they know a lot more that they can't tell because they've seen videos that are top secret and stuff like that. But most of the interviews that I saw, they were disappointed, And I think the biggest thing is that the main superstar was not there, and that's a problem, right? Because if the guy goes in front of Congress and publicly and says all this shit, which we've been hearing for how long? 70 years, but he repeats it. Well, either he's an asshole, or and he's repeating the shit that he saw on TV, or everybody in Congress is a bunch of assholes because they're meaningless. Their jobs are meaningless. Basically, they can't hear shit.
For the most part, yeah, it's dead on.
Yeah.
That's their job.
It sucks. It sucks. How can you be elected to this position in government and you you can't hear things, you can't see things, you basically fight over stupid shit, and the stuff that's meaningful, nobody really cares about. Or you have no power.
Yeah, or you're getting paid not to make sure that nothing comes out about it, or to just bullshit about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, a little bit of Pentagon news on this from the New York Post says that the CEO, who is this? One of the guys is going to step down because of all this. Let's see. Investigate 800. Looks like Kirkpatrick warned of the presence of UFOs, although
Yes.
there has yet to be hard evidence of aliens. So looks like he got yelled at pretty hard, and so
Yeah, he
he's going
did.
to give up his position. So that'll just
he's-
create a lot more closed doors, I think.
He's the one that we have to thank for the last report, the last UFO report that, again, looked like it was put together by fifth graders and sent out to everyone to look at. And the thing is that everyone has been calling for him to give up the info, give us the truth. But what's happening is that someone leaked out that he has a secret group or secret committee that's telling him what kind of information to release and what basically he needs to do. And they've been called like the cabal, right? The ones that are guarding the secret have been governing what he says and what he does. But it's a separate committee. It's not acknowledged by the government itself or the Department of Defense. And they heard about this about a month ago, and so now he's on the way out. So the thing is that if you watch Weaponized, you know that Knapp and Corbell have been saying that they've been sending people over to Kirkpatrick's office, which is Arrow, and that people are coming back saying they're having some shitty interviews with, flunkies on the side, and their information isn't getting anywhere because Kirkpatrick publicly is saying no one's come forward. There are no whistleblowers. There are no UFOs or aliens. So it's like, what the hell's going on?
Statement. And so they're going to have a new chief eventually, but the Pentagon gets to select that guy apparently.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Green Man's got it. You hear the groan in the background. And they can't do anything right now because Congress is holding up all the positions, right? They can't even hire generals.
Yeah.
So that'll be a slow roll.
Yeah. You look at some of the generals we got. Honestly, man, we go to war right now, we're fucked. We're fucked.
Yeah,
That'd be a good way not to talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we already have Israel. So.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen next? And Israel, I mean, I don't watch the news, but it's kind of left the news too. I don't see that too much being reported anywhere.
Well, yeah. Oh,
It's on pretty much every day. They're talking about
Yeah.
how civilians are being killed mostly.
yeah. You got to watch the right channels, man. Some of the channels that just want to promote, freak everybody out. That's how they make
Well,
their funds.
I
Those are
think
the channels that are
people in
talking about it all
Vegas
the
trying to
time.
get those hostages back, right? So they want to get the hostages back, and they want to have a shutdown. They want to have a ceasefire. So I think that's the big deal of the day, right? So they do these pauses, so to speak, so that some civilians can get out. But unfortunately, there's a city under the city, So right now they're doing a lot of tunnel diving, and they're trying to fetch out all the terrorists and such without killing any civilians. But that's
Bunker
impossible.
busters. That's all they
Yeah,
do.
yeah. No, well, yeah, you can do that. You sure can.
Yeah. But the problem is that Hamas that's what they do is they shelter behind civilians.
Yeah, that is definitely
know.
a problem. 100%. Yep.
But it's like technically, during times of war, if the enemy hides behind civilians, those civilians become
Cannon fodder.
exactly.
They do. They're right in the middle of it.
Expected casualties.
Mhm.
Which
Nobody
sucks.
wants either side to win either, and that's the hard part, right? Because really, all they're trying to do is get Hamas is just trying to get everybody else involved, but everybody else uses Hamas as kind of a hit them over there. That way, they're not looking over here kind of deal. And Hamas, yeah, they're just used.
Hamas is like the attack dogs of the
Yeah.
area.
There you go.
It's like even
Send the dogs in first.
Whoever the leader of I think Egypt is put it when they were talking about taking in refugees is you don't bring your guard dogs into the house where they can attack your children. You want them outside where his words can keep you safe from the Jews or some shit like
That's
that.
what King Tut said.
That's what the leader the leader of Egypt said. I think pretty sure it was Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like everybody else in that area is like no refugees from Palestine. It's like because it's like everybody's had run-ins with them. It's like Jordan, the grandfather of the president now of Jordan, was assassinated by somebody from Palestinian guy. And then like another Palestinian guy tried to kill his dad after that.
Gee.
So Jordan doesn't like him. And it's like, dude, it's like you go through, it's like that whole area and everybody's like, no. Yeah, we feel for you, but we feel for you over there.
Manny, where are all the aliens and UFOs for this thing, man?
No shit.
They got all the technology.
Shouldn't they be buzzing around fucking?
I'm sure they're there.
I mean, look,
Well,
they can shut down aircraft, right? I mean, literally, when they're getting chased, they can just say, nope, flip a switch, and all their aircraft go haywire. I mean, that's all. Me being the guy I kind of am, I like to think that they'll come over and they'll put like a nice dome over something and just protect it and say, okay, enough, timeout, stop. And they'll make it colorful too, like our spear ball in Vegas now, right? Put smiley faces on it and stuff and say, let's have some peace. Hold on, timeout.
They should make that thing into a giant testicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only after
really
midnight.
show people.
That thing is too popular there too, man. It's always backing up traffic like you wouldn't believe, man.
I believe it. Oh, I believe it.
How much juice does that thing take? I mean,
It's all solar power. No, it's got to be a lot. But most of Vegas gets all of its power from the Hoover Dam and stuff. So,
I mean, the city's already a giant fucking electrical suck.
Sure.
A giant electrical leech kind of thing.
Hey, they did it. They did it well back, man. They built it well, man. It's. I mean, and now we're getting more weather for more water to roll through it, so that'll help. And a lot of that power goes to
they're putting water through the eye,
through the dam, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, so the generators can make more power. We got a whole bunch of fields too, solar fields out here as well. So
Wheat fields, Wanarana fields.
yeah, we conserve quite a bit of energy actually, especially on the water
And
side of
wheat.
things. We don't
Yeah.
we don't have large areas of grass except for the casinos because have the casinos.
There's lots of grass
And
while I was out there.
Golf courses. Gotta
Yeah.
have the good golf courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, in the time that I was away, I got a feeling that these guys are everywhere all the time, constantly. So I think that they kind of, I mean, in some cases they might oversee some of this craziness, but I don't know. I've been kind of diving into a lot of consciousness thing, higher consciousness, and all that madness. I think that's why they're here. I think my opinion is that's what they're after, or that's how they came to see us, basically know about us. Whether or not they constructed humanity, I don't know. If it is, it's kind of weird that they just don't show themselves at that point, to be honest.
Yeah. I think they let the wrong guy deal with the mind part of us, but I think the body with the arms and legs is good. Hey, did you guys hear that a starfish's legs are actually part of its head? So actually, a starfish is just a head, just a giant head.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
I don't know. I
So
heard
those are
that.
his ears that he
Yeah.
uses to walk.
You cut off a starfish tentacle, right, and they grow back.
Yeah, heard that.
Yeah.
They should just make another starfish, to be honest.
So if the whole starfish is its head, technically its brain is right up its ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
huh?
I mean, yeah.
Or
I
rather
mean-
close to it.
Yeah.
That makes it alien,
Mm,
like the octopus.
definitely unique.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Dre, what do you have for us?
Okay, guys. So let me take out my little notes here.
Oh, boy.
My little notes.
Oh, those are little.
Those are little.
Post-its.
Fun size.
So as much as we talk about UFOs and we talk about aliens, I mean, to become I guess serious about this topic, everybody wants to be. Well, I guess your goal would be to be a ufologist. And I got to thinking, actually, me and Davina were driving somewhere, probably to Sam's or something, and I just one of those, I should look up how to be a ufologist. And that's something that we see people like Pope, we see like Greer, like they call themselves ufologists. I mean, but like, how do you become one? So that was a
Nobody
question that came
knows.
to my head. Well, so the ufology, which we all know, is the study of unidentified flying objects. There is no degree. You don't need no degree in anything to be a ufologist. They always talk about like, well, if you have a degree in physics, maybe in astronomy, you could actually bring those skills to help you with searching UFOs. And what I've read and understood, I mean, just the things that we see on news and the people that talk about ancient aliens and stuff like that, and all these guys do is you got to be able to go somewhere, either see a UFO or find someone who has seen a UFO, document it, report about it, and then talk about it. And that basically is what a ufologist is. And
All right, we all
we
qualify.
would be, yeah, I mean, we all qualify, everybody qualifies. But so I dug deeper. So there's actually you can get a UFO degree. What's my little note fell? You can get a UFO degree at the IMS Metaphysics Institute for
IMS?
a IMHS
Oh, okay.
for a low fee of $1,350.
Oh my God, really?
And it's a 12 course degree.
Well, I know where my taxes are going next year.
And it's actually some of the courses are actually pretty interesting. I mean, even if I didn't go to the course, or get the degree from these people, and I'm not promoting. I'm just repeating information I read. They have like courses on metaphysical material, metaphysical, paranormal,
Booty hugging.
uh, physics of metaphysical, something else. I mean, just the courses sound really interesting. And it's basically, if you didn't want to pay for the whole year, you put down that big amount and you get all 12 courses. But you can do them once a month if you want to, like for $100. One course a month, and in a year you'll get your degree. And they actually give you a little certificate, and you get an ID, you get a badge.
You get a
Wow.
badge.
We don't even get a
Yeah.
badge here. What's
Yeah,
going
I know.
on?
That was one of my sellers. I was like, I gotta
Oh,
get
that's a
that.
seller for sure.
I know. So there's
Yeah, you
actually
gotta recognize.
the IMHS Metaphysical Institute. If you ever
Why
get
does
a
it
chance to
sound
look
so?
that up.
What is the acronym? IMHS.
You know what it stands for?
I didn't see it.
I'll
That's
tell
all
you
it
what
said.
it stands for. It stands for I'm high as
IMHS?
shit. That's what it stands for.
You said IMHS. Institute.
I'm high as shit.
Metaphysical. Metaphysical.
I see it. Hold on one second.
That's what that school stands for.
Yeah.
It's
So it's interesting, and some of those courses, like I said before, that their courses look really, really interesting. I take it, and the video's like, "Well, are you going to do it?" I was like, "What am I going to do?" So how do ufologists get paid? Well, ufologists get paid by going to speak about UFOs. That's how they get paid.
Yeah, what is that
That's
class?
how they make a living.
Is that
They
a
go,
class that they offer online?
Yeah.
Ufology and how to make it pay for you.
Yeah. You gotta go talk in conferences and stuff like that, but you gotta go out there and I guess see UFOs. So that was the first one I came across. Now the second one is probably, I'd call this the old-fashioned way, the way we all probably would do it.
I have your acronym, by the way.
What is it?
The Institute of Metaphysical Humanistic Science.
Oh, humanistic. Well, did you look at the courses? The courses some of those courses are pretty cool. Hidden role.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole list of them. So sure.
Yeah. Okay, so the way I figured we call it the old school way is number one, become a MUFON member. MUFON's been around a while, right? So this is the path. It's like your counselor teaching you your career path. So the first thing you do would become a MUFON member, which is to be a VIP membership for the year. Low price of $378.
Okay, it's a little cheaper.
Dude.
Yes, it's a little cheaper. You get the VIP membership for the year, exclusive content, and other things. Next, you would talk to a local MUFON director or field agent, basically somebody who goes out and somebody goes out on for a UFO investigation. So you would kind of tag along with them. You'd be like their apprentice, maybe for about a year.
The UFO bitch.
Then, yeah.
Nearly every state has one of those too, I think.
Yes.
Damn,
So then the next,
they're everywhere.
They would give you a field guide. What is it? Get the field guide. Follow the field guide for investigating UFOs for MUFON. So they have their own field guide. You would get that field guide. Be an apprentice with somebody. Go out, learn how to do the investigations. Learn how sightings. How to basically, some of the stuff is like how to debunk UFOs. Like I was saying earlier, we've had 2 UFO sightings in Texas, and one was in July, one was recently in October 20th and October 23rd, somewhere in that time period. And I saw the video; it almost looked like just like a light with a haze over it in the sky, and it created what I would think was it created a portal, and the portal disappeared, and the light just kept going through it and disappeared too. And their explanation was that was the SpaceX 9 rocket in flight.
Oh yeah.
So that would be in a way of how. Go ahead.
How much was the VIP again?
$378.
Breaking news, everyone! The
What's
new
that?
subscription for VIP is now $299.88.
Oh, Christmas special.
Because they had nobody pay the full price for it.
Right.
Like
So-
nobody's buying.
Yeah,
this
Dre's
shit
kinda
for
getting-
$300.
Go through Dre's link, he gets a kickback.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
so then the last part, after you go and follow somebody, you take the field guides. They have a test, I guess, for the field guide manual. Upon completion of that, you're a ufologist. Yeah. So
Understand
these are the
it's
kind of things.
Scientology.
Do they send you a degree as well? Something you can put up on the wall?
Actually, again, you get a badge and a certificate.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
a
wow.
badge.
Another
Yeah.
Jeez.
Damn.
Well, you get
Is
a
it
badge
made
for
out
being a
of
MUFON
plastic?
member. When you get the VIP, you get the badge. You also get the badge. So you get that prior to getting
Damn.
the degree, or not the
I want
degree.
mine
You
to
don't get
say-
the degree. You get the name.
I want
So,
mine
but
to say
then,
Fox Boulder.
You get
Do
a
you
badge
just want
that people
the-
will laugh at.
do you want the people just to say, okay, I went to MUFON, I've been around, and now I'm a ufologist, or do you want the certificate saying I'm a ufologist?
I would rather have the degree, the practice, the experience,
Well,
not
is
just being Norm on the street. I saw you.
Yeah, Norm on the street ufologist.
No,
I have questions about this badge. Is this shit like plastic or is this like made out of brass?
I bet you it's
It said laminated. Laminated.
Oh, it's like so it's
Perfect
like
lamination.
it's just basically like a piece of shit and then some laminated. It's not like a police badge. where
polished
you rip
shirt.
it out. I just take a
Sir,
wallet.
sir, it has
Damn!
ufologist on
Tell
it,
me
sir.
about
It has the
UFOs,
word
bitch.
ufologist.
Oh wow.
Okay.
You might get a discount at Denny's, maybe.
They actually go into a
Oh.
few of the 70s Cracker Jack boxes and pull out a badge for you.
Or, yeah,
Yeah, no
the quarter
shit.
ring.
But
So yeah,
the
I
Denny's
thought that
thing.
was pretty
You got me
interesting.
with the Denny's thing.
As much as we talk about UFOs, I consider we are like halfway to being ufologists.
I'm
We can
curious.
get
Can
the
you
title.
use it? You use it in the press field.
We come in, say I'm an ufologist, talk to the
Press. I'm press. Yeah.
a
You
lot
might
of the
get-
actually.
And
To-
then
to-
JoJo
to
walks you out.
Congress.
He's like 500 pounds, all muscle.
Yeah.
They were talking about one of the sites I was reading, and they're like psychology is also a big player in the ufology. That they have to deal with contactees or abductees, or just people who've seen a UFO and help them try to deal with the situation that they were in, like seeing it, being abducted, or whatever it was. So psychology is being a big part into it.
They can't have
I
any
was like,
lunatic Norm off the street just coming in there. And
Yeah, you gotta have some credentials.
there
So
you
I
go.
guess
Yeah,
the
Norm.
badge with a certificate next to my badge in the folder, I show myself.
There's
So I
something
thought
wrong
that
with
was
my
pretty
headset. I
interesting.
keep hearing vag instead of badge.
Yeah. And the fact you paid some fucking schmuck fucking $389.95 gives you fucking credentials and some fucking validation.
And I repeat, the new price, $299.88.
I know.
Anatoly has one of those, don't you, Anatoly?
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. He's got it. He's speechless.
Yeah.
He's used it so many times.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. How to become a ufologist.
Oh, okay.
We never would have thought of that, huh, guys? As much as we talk about it.
I never would have thought that going out and shelling out cash to people would have really made a difference.
Well, I wonder if it'll go anywhere, actually. I mean, if it's something that we might be able to actually,
It's like those
mean,
cheap
if
real estate companies, schools.
if I've got the extra $400,
Okay. So
in the
what
time,
if
right?
what if I take $299.95
Maybe they won't beat the horn at me at
in my
Area
hand?
51.
I got almost $300 in my hand. I go outside. Throw it up. I've given it to the UFOs. The most direct source. Doesn't that, if they don't take it or not, does that mean
Or the homeless.
like accepted
Wow.
into the university?
Oh, and here's a thought. What if they put a fucking secret chip in that card? Yeah.
To track
They
you.
got to track you. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're working for
And-
the government.
And
Keep an eye on
the
it.
aliens actually keep track of those chips, right?
And Green Man, actually, if you spot the money coming back down, that makes you a ufologist.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah.
I've already been accepted.
Exactly.
You can identify an object and be able
Mhm.
to debunk it.
And you
And
can
you're
video
green,
it.
man, so you spot all the green.
Make sure you
Yeah.
video it so we can all call it a
But
bird.
do I get a badge?
A vag? That's up to you.
a badge? A badge?
We don't have a badge
A
now.
badge. A badge.
You don't need no stinking badges.
All right. I don't know. I would not take any of those courses. No, nor would I recommend them either.
Norm, read 7 through 8 courses.
7 through 8?
Yeah, just read the courses out.
Okay.
Wait, let me put you on the big screen because this is going to be a moment.
Well, see, it won't show me it unless. Okay, so
Hit enroll.
You need to put a down payment. Put a down payment.
The membership includes official membership card with liner, official membership certificate, a hat, a MUFON hat. Wow, a MUFON mouse pad.
Oh no, the other one, the IMS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, MUFON we don't care about. You don't get a degree.
I don't. I need a mouse pad.
And you can minor in pedophilia.
You get a free box of fucking Hershey bars. You know,
Thomas, give me 1 second. Thomas Francis University course?
No, IMHS, metaphysics.
Degree program. Here we go. Wow. So, degree
12
program.
courses.
Okay. Specialization overview. Metaphysical science degree, metaphysical ministry degree,
That's another one.
A spiritual counseling degree. Okay, those are different. Hold on. Degree program overview. It's not giving me. There we go.
So also you can be a ufologist and be a priest.
Oh, nice.
We'll see. I'm still waiting to see. It says $100 down. You can get started. So apparently you can make payments.
Put your PayPal in there. Let's find out what it is.
Oh, you get it's actually a bachelor's degree. 5 bachelors. Yeah, they actually.
No, those are the people training you. They're 5 bachelors.
Let's see. Yeah, it's they send you a PDF. Great. Continue. No, they're not really going into detail unless I.
They have the courses. When you hit go to the very bottom, it has it enroll.
Oh, enroll now. Well, see, that's what I'm scared of.
Yeah,
You can hit it.
Tuition rates and enrollment information. Got it.
And then keep going down.
Yeah. Okay, so now what am I going to do? Additional important information? No. Do you offer scholarship programs? No. What are the enrollment requirements? No. What is included in the tuition? Okay. Bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees for your chosen specialization.
What?
Application fee, 12 courses plus. Okay, those are the 12 courses you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't list those though. Additional easy instructional access to student support, bachelor's, master's, PDF.
It was on that first page for ufology.
Okay.
It was at the very bottom.
I feel like we need elevator music right now.
Yeah. Click here, detailed overview of the degree program, degree overview. And then scroll down. We're looking for metaphysical bachelor's degree. Is that what we're looking at? You said specifically UFO, so
yeah.
I'm not seeing that.
I'll have to look into the study.
Yeah.
But
all right, I'm on this goddamn site too here.
I think I'm leaning towards the MUFON one. It seems a little easier.
All right, where the
easier
hell
to
am I
find.
supposed to look at these goddamn things? Okay, what am I supposed to be looking for, Dre?
Have Anatoly read it.
The 12 courses.
12 courses.
I'll be honest,
Okay,
Anatoly looks
25
really
degrees.
interested in the courses.
25 degrees. Yeah, I know. He's fascinated. Yeah, but it was that Chernobyl fucked him up, so I don't trust his ass.
He needs like a little hat.
Dude,
Yeah, he does, like a cigar. A little cigarette.
Yeah. When I was
Or a
making them,
mohawk,
man, I kept
at
looking at
least.
my wife.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I had a little stand, so the head would just sit on the stand, and she'd be sitting there working on something with me, and she's like, "It's fucking looking at me."
It's okay to look. Only when he moves, that's when we worry.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I don't see anything about
I've got
what's
it.
the
I've
12
got it.
degrees.
Required courses. 12 courses are required for bachelor's and master's degrees. The nature of metaphysics,
Yeah.
metaphysical self-mastery, metaphysical intercommunication. That's like Dre trying to get his wife to come do the dishes. Let's see, metaphysical critical thinking
He
and
uses
self
remote viewing for that.
Yeah.
advanced metaphysical concept courses 1 and 2, developing your innate psychic and intuitive powers. Now, Manny, you were saying at the beginning of this episode that was something you were kind of into. You were
Higher consciousness. That's what they're pretty much teaching you.
yeah.
I'm looking at some of these.
Yeah, and there are additional courses available.
Yeah, I'm reading.
But they're
some
pretty
of them.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Metaphysical, holistic life.
Give these guys
Coaching.
$1,500 and they can start calling me Dr. Norm.
Metaphysical hypnosis.
Yeah.
Metaphysical holistic arts. Holistic ministry. Everything's metaphysical. Something. Energy healing, spiritual healing, paranormal science, anomalous research, parapsychology, ufology. They've got that. Cryptozoology.
That's a one-stop shop here.
Hominology. Hominology.
Like homonyms. Homina.
Para-anthropology, metaphysical, cultural anthropology. Enroll now. Let's see.
So it was an interesting site.
I think it's
Hell is that?
Save
Did you guys
an
hear that?
additional $100 or $300 depending on the specialist asked. Yeah. Pay me.
well. I think what I know about metaphysical stuff is it's the stuff that everything's made of, right? Like our tables, our microphones. It's all the atoms that they say, well, they don't actually touch. They just kind of, there's an electrical string theory, right? It's along those lines, right? So it's going into depth on things that we can't really see, but you can feel, right? Like an intuition, so to speak. That's kind of how I feel about what metaphysical is. I mean, it has a lot to do with meditation, a lot to do with prayer, actually. And like conceiving of something in your head, and it makes it real. That's what I know about metaphysical, stuff like that. They call them positive affirmations, but you can also have negative affirmations. So, I mean, that's
Like
how
bills. Bills are negative affirmations.
bills are very negative affirmations.
Yeah.
But if you positively think that one of the zeros is going to disappear off of that bill, who knows?
Dre's going to the shitter. We'll have to
there you
pause
go.
this right now.
No.
Maybe we'll hear it. He's got his mic with him, I think.
It's lovely how he just kind of wanders.
Yeah, he
off.
just left.
I can hear the TV going off. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
No,
There you
hey, I got to do something. I'll be right back. You just
hmm
I don't want to interrupt anybody.
like a senior with.
No,
Alzheimer's.
they've written tons and tons of books on this too. The ones I've seen have been like from the 1930s, actually. So, metaphysical living has evolved. There's a lot of churches out there who actually do that. They follow a metaphysical, a higher power, so to speak. And I believe that Stephen Greer, uses that same kind of philosophy in his, as far as he sees those. And I think even the church says, hey, if there are aliens, then God made them too. So everything's kind of connected, intertwined. You know what I mean? And maybe metaphysical has something to do with the technology. Maybe that's why we can't really get into that kind of technology, is because we haven't developed that part of our brain that opens up a lot, right? I mean, I've said it on many of your podcasts all the time that a lot of the times that there are some people some human beings who are just born with that perfect brain, right? And they're just gone. They're taken right away. They want to be, they want them to be part of their tribe like immediately, right? And so or they're working for some program somewhere. you know um I love these stories about these children, these prodigy children, other than being involved in music, but the ones who are just dominant, like in math and stuff like that. They basically, their lives are set, but they're kind of locked, right? They're locked into a program, like a government program where they can be of use. But first they're gonna get theirs. The government's gonna get theirs first. So they'll scholarship these children from birth, and they'll pay their parents a large sum of money just to make sure that this kid gets into their program specifically for what they want to use that child for as they grow up. But others, I believe, who hit that meditation plateau, uh, which I think Stephen Greer's been trying to reach. They just get swept up. They get taken. They're like, "Yep, you got the stuff. You got the right stuff, so to speak." Right?
Yeah, and I think that when Kelleher, when he was on, he had been interviewed on Webinars a few months ago, he said that one of the things that the results were from the OSAP program and being at Skinwalker Ranch was consciousness, and that people are not going to really understand what that means, but it is a significant part of what's happening.
I think, well, we've been trying it. We've done a couple of little things here and there with Dre, and the going into a meditative state, trying to picture whatever is written down and stuff like that. But I failed. I failed hard.
Remote viewing is part of that. It's part of the whole higher consciousness situation.
Yeah, remote viewing. I
but
failed.
I have been, like I said, I've been doing research on it for months since I haven't been on the podcast. But there's a part of that where it's absolutely almost impossible to do, and that's you need to quiet your mind. And quieting your mind is, I can't do it. Like I've tried and I tried, it doesn't happen. And it's weird because the more I try, the more chatter there is, and the more I just go off, squirrel, and I could be listening to binaural beats, or I could be listening to other shit, and it will not happen. Yeah, and some of the books I've come across, it takes time. Some people, a couple of weeks. Some people, it could take months to get to the point where you can quiet your mind and maybe have the connection to that higher consciousness. And then when you're there, shit could go bad, to be honest. So you really have to kind of learn about it, get some techniques down, and see what happens. But we all know people who've had that contact, right? We've heard these stories about remote viewers. We know people in our lives that they've been clairvoyant. They'll tell you, "Oh, I knew about this," or "I dreamt about it," or you go see a psychic and they get it right. When you go to a real genuine psychic, not the ones that just do it to screw people over for money, but like a real psychic. There's plenty of those out there, and these are all people who are connecting to the higher consciousness, and they're saying that this is all also attached to what scientifically is quantum physics.
The quantum physics. That's
and
perfect. Yeah.
And that's how they're explaining it scientifically. But there's a whole bunch of physicists that are studying not just quantum physics, but also studying higher consciousness and how the connection is. You don't hear too much of that because they're not putting it, in conjunction with UFOs. But the guys at OSAP, they were part of that program out there at Skinwalker Ranch. They've made the connection. They've seen the connection between the two. Yeah. And there's a connection to this whole. Now, what the hell the aliens are, I have no idea. But
then they had that issue where these beings were attaching themselves to them or something, and hitchhikers. That's what they called them, something like that. Hitchhiker spirits and things like that, and they felt very uncomfortable about having that with connected to that. So I mean, there's a positive and a negative to it, I guess, but there's got to be a way to get it to where you don't have to have a hitchhiker jumping up on you. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that's just what they were dealing with. There's a lot of people who do this astral projection and all this other shit astral lucid dreaming and all that kind of stuff, where they don't get attached to any negative things. But again, apparently they're out there, and you can connect to almost anything,
I think there's
even
one behind Jim
the
right
gray
now.
guy behind you.
Yeah, there may be a few.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a crazy topic to look into, but I feel like as things progress, maybe in about 20 years we'll find out the truth, and there's a little bit more to this higher consciousness situation. Yeah.
Maybe in 20 years we'll all be higher conscious.
I mean, most of us will be dead, but we will be in higher consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
no
hoping to
kidding.
have like a Bluetooth, connection in my casket. That way, I can keep listening to something,
Yeah, right.
just in case.
Yeah. So I mean, that's where I'm at myself, and the word right now on the streets is that between now and the first quarter of next year, supposed to be another couple bombshells coming out of the David Grush camp, and then a couple of other people are just going to start disclosing stuff. I mean, honestly, what else can they do? At this point, if they go through the route of following the law, getting permission to speak about stuff, and then when they speak about it, it just goes on deaf ears. Well, I think you have to break the law eventually.
Are they
We
talking
also
about how they're going to release it?
no.
Not yet.
Apparently, they don't want to release info because of things that have happened in the past, where people get harassed and stuff like that. So they're not willing to do that. But the other thing too is that law. I don't even know if they even signed it into law, where people that work in these secret programs are able to get the whistleblower protection and come forward without being, held in contempt or whatever, or they can break their NDAs
I mean, they sounded
for the
like they were
government.
pretty adamant about getting it done, but whether it got done or not, that's the other thing,
Yeah.
right?
I never heard of it got signed either.
Well, they were
Yeah.
waiting for the Speaker of the House to get elected before they can go through and vote on it. And then it goes over to Biden, which he won't even read it, so it'll be okay.
He'll sign it.
Yeah, he'll sign it. Yeah, he won't care.
As soon as he can wake up.
All you got to do is just say, sign it, and there's some ice cream in it for you. Get that shit fucking done. Lickety split. No gibberish, no nothing.
So there you go. So you guys have been doing remote viewing. How has that been?
I think Green Man's been doing better than all of us, to be
I think
honest.
he would be a good viewer. I think I'd be a good handler. I could give him and give him a target and have him remote view it. Then I could break down his remote viewing.
Yeah, Drake can handle me anytime he likes.
I try to remote view as much as I like. Not that as much as I can. Just whenever I get time, I'll say, okay, I know Friday I'm gonna have a little time, but it's hard like to get somebody to make me a target. It's so funny, and I don't want to use like there's random target generators online you can get. I think in the what's the name of that website? Third Eye. I want to say, or Mind's Eye or Third Eye Mind. I don't know. It's one of it's a website you can generate your own targets, and then they'll tell you. And then actually, I'm on Facebook. I'm on a remote viewing chat group, and then they give somebody will throw out a target number, just target numbers though. They just throw the numbers up there, and then every Sunday evening they'll tell you what the target is. So I don't even look for what this Sunday's evening is, but I don't like working that way. Like I want to see a target. Like, show me a picture. I don't know. That's just where I am. Then I'll listen to another guy talking about remote viewing. These guys were like in a classroom setting, and they were teaching these guys to remote view with their eyes open, not not in a nice peaceful place and you're meditating and relaxed. No, these guys were doing it. Okay, and it was like boom, boom, boom. They was like okay, and it was good. I mean, part of it was good because he was telling him, okay, you got to have 15 words for each item. Like, okay, what do you smell? Try to write down what you smell. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? Give me descriptive. You got to have at least 10 descriptive words. And like they had like this little dictionary basically of all the words that are commonly used. Like if you feel waves or you feel like a water, most likely it's going to be a mountain or a hill. And it was pretty interesting to listen to this guy and just how they attacked it. And then I said, okay, let me try it. So he goes, okay. I was walking, and he's like, here's your target. And I'm just thinking there, and I'm walking. I'm trying to remote view while I'm walking, and all I see is this blue ribbon just kind of roaming in the air. And I'm like, okay, this is all I see. So he starts talking about what do you smell, what do you see, what do you taste, and I'm walking. I'm like, I really can't. It's hard to focus. I'm walking,
Mhm. Mhm.
much less. I got that was the visual I got, and it was actually it was a mountain. And maybe he embedded that in my head already about the waves. Those are the things that once you see you write down a wave. So as me as a handler, if Green Man wrote down a wave, I would be thinking, okay, he's probably seeing a mountain or a hill or something similar. Even though I might not know the target either, it'll help me, you know, find the target out easier. But it was pretty interesting. Just trying to do that, and it was just. But that guy was just talking so fast, and he was just boom, go to this one, go to this one, go to this one, go to this one, and versus
So you don't get
we're
stuck
sitting
in one
there.
thought. So you
Yeah,
don't get
yeah.
stuck in one thought. Like, because
But
I'd be thinking wave. Well, mount. Why would it be a mountain? In my head, I'd be instantly going, should it be an ocean or a river or a lake? You know,
yeah.
and to combat that, he probably just gets in your ear right away, so you don't have time to think about it.
Well, as
Yeah,
you draw the
yeah.
wave, you could go to the next thing, and as you go back and look at the paper, then you can start figuring out, okay, the top 10 items that you draw are mostly going to be this, like you said, the wave is usually indicating like a mountain, hills or something like that, and people just draw a wave and they leave it at that, and most of the time it turns out to be that. So that's just, I guess, the way our conscious is able to understand and try to explain it to was it like our conscious and ourselves. Our consciousness trying to explain to us what the consciousness is seeing. So it
Yeah,
was
and I
pretty
think
interesting.
yeah, I think Norm was right because I know some of the stuff that I read that had to do with remote viewing and things like folks like Yuri Geller and those guys
Hmm.
that were involved in the Project Stargate and all that craziness. One of the things that they said was that the handlers were trained to ensure that the person once they put something down, they didn't continue to think about it, because that would just throw off their entire focus. So
Yeah, get
yeah,
their
they tried to.
first instinct to probably be the most
Yeah,
accurate one.
Right.
right. Yeah, they don't want them to overthink it because then they go off the hinges. And then they focus too much on that and they forget the entire image that they're getting or the sounds or whatever. So pretty
I
fascinating
don't
stuff.
mind.
And
Go ahead.
I have a book that I've listened to already for the second time, which talks about Uri Geller and all those other guys that were involved back in the day with remote viewing and training the government folks, the CIA, and all that kind of stuff. Which is a pretty darn good book because they've given some examples of how accurate these guys are, which is pretty crazy. I gotta find out. I find out. I'll post it in the Discord in case anybody wants to try
Of
to
course, it's just the declassified stuff.
acquire it.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
well,
yeah. Because they
it's
said there were
remote
like
viewing. It's remote
hundreds,
viewing, so it's more about their
hundreds and
training
hundreds of
and their
cases.
experience of what they did. They're not going to tell you, of course, what they looked for as far as the government needs, but just the way how they came into it. Because he wasn't doing remote viewing initially,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was spoon bending.
All those.
Which there's actually a good story about that too, which is pretty fascinating.
I know that all the Stargate stuff that the CIA did is supposed to be released under the Crest Act. So
Hmm.
if you look up CIA Crest, it'll take you to a page, a search page, and from there you type in Stargate. And I've done it, and I've seen you got it's a lot of stuff crap that you got to kind of sift through, you
Right.
know, because I mean it's like every document that mentions Stargate. So
Oh,
it could be okay. Yeah, they had a meeting, and this is how much the fucking donut budget was for the meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but I've seen some things to some of the actual like picture to remote viewed drawing, and it was like, yeah, damn, they were definitely on to something.
Yeah, there was one
Some of
person
that
they
shit.
used. It was an actual artist. So when he saw the images, it was like he was painting.
Oh,
So
wow.
basically, the images were extremely accurate.
Who was that? Is that the guy who died? Or he found dead? Is that guy?
I mean,
Hmm.
in the book, they didn't say whether he died or not,
Oh,
but I'm sure there's a lot of dead people out there.
I don't want to see him.
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, yeah. So I mean, these are the crazy things that are going on now. So we'll see. I think this topic we probably should bring it up on our next episode. Maybe I could bring some specific samples of this, especially remote viewing, because it's crazy. And according to them, they could pick anyone out of the street and have them remote viewing in just a couple hours. So
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Everybody has abilities.
mhm.
It's just training them to do it.
Reminds me of the next Jimmy Kimmel show. Just somebody right off the street. Hey, can you
Yeah,
see
exactly.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of you guys can go just bring someone off the street and see if they can do it.
As long as I know what the
Believe-
parameters are and how
you
to
know-
explain them, I think I could do that. I know
Okay.
I've got some folks who are pretty
So
Pretty
I've
voluntary.
tried to do that. I've tried to do that too, and it's funny because I got y'all to do it, right? I got you guys to remote view, but when I ask my friends, they're not very receptive to the idea, or even
These trick or
understand.
treaters that came into your house.
Damn, that's,
Probably
yeah.
they were those would probably be smarter.
You gotta bribe them with candy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Drive
So
around in a
so-
white van and offer them candy. And
most
Oh,
people,
yeah, now you're a MUFON member.
yeah. You're an ordained MUFON member.
Yeah,
You got the
exactly.
Yeah,
badge.
Yeah.
most people don't even know what remote viewing is, much less Stargate.
Right.
I want to go say, like, I mean, if I have 10 people, one might have heard of it, but doesn't know what it is. And I'm the one, right? Maybe. But yeah, I mean, remote viewing, no one's ever heard of it. I mean, I'm the one, I'm the guy in the circle who brings up fringe items like remote viewing and Bigfoot, aliens. But now I've gotten my other buddy, he's a truck driver, and he's seen stuff while he's driving. So he's more open to it, I guess you would say,
Mhm.
because he's seen things. I don't even know what that was. And he's driving, so he's seen stuff. So he understands. Okay, I understand where Andre is coming from, but everybody else just oblivious. Well, I understand it doesn't deal with your life, so it doesn't matter to you. I mean, sometimes you gotta go beyond your life, you know.
Yeah, but I think most everyone has, in one way or another, experienced higher consciousness, right? Like sometimes you get a feeling,
Intuition.
something's wrong somewhere,
Yeah.
or you need to call someone or stuff. That's all
Yeah.
part of that. It's all part of that.
And they go back to their coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Or they forgot their cell phone, so they can't call them, and the person is
Yeah,
Or it's
deceased.
just Matrix has uploaded something to you, and you just
Yeah.
didn't, you
Yeah.
weren't on that page.
Yeah, my late teens, early 20s, dude, I used to see red and blue lights before accidents.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the first time it happened, dude, is me and my mom and my ex were coming through the hills, coming out of Ramona, and it was like a couple miles down the road. I'm like, I just kept on seeing these damn things. There's no other cars, on the road with us. But I kept seeing these red and blue flashes, and I just told my mom, just kind of slow down. I got kind of a feeling. And at the top of one hill, we were coming around a blind corner, and a truck had overturned.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It
there you
had just
that's crazy.
overturned. We were the first ones there. And but my mom's like, she's like, I was driving a little slower because what you told me kind of had me on the lookout. And she's like, if you hadn't, I probably would have been driving faster and could have hit the guy. but it would like after that it would it was almost like clockwork every time. Like a couple miles before we'd pass an accident on the road, I'd see them and weed
Would that
my
be
mom out for
daytime
a
or
while.
nighttime?
Yeah, yeah,
Both. Both. Okay.
yeah. Weed my mom out for a while, But then it just kind of it kind of be sometimes I would see him and nothing would happen, and sometimes it would, and then sooner or later it just kind of
Faded away. Yeah.
the
But that
older I got.
really, that kind of speaks to your ability to kind of be a bit more accurate when it comes to remote viewing and the stuff that Dre's
Maybe,
put together.
maybe.
Unless you're in
Mhm.
Florida, because their lights are green.
No, Cali. No. If I hear Hawaii, I think they just have like one blue light that they have to have on all the time.
Oh.
Yep.
Like
I mean,
blue
it's
light
like,
indicates
Well, no, it's a
oxygen.
red light. It's a red light.
No,
Well,
well,
like
you,
it's
in Texas, if you have a blue light, it means you're carrying oxygen in your vehicle.
oh well, yeah, because years ago I had a buddy that was in the army in Hawaii. I don't know how that fucking worked, but he was like, yeah, the cops out there. It's like they have to have this light on at all times. They can't just. They're not allowed to just like sneak up on you. You have to be able to see them coming. So it's like
Nice.
you can speed all the time, and then you can see the light coming from miles away. So you're always cool.
Mhm. All right, so we're getting to the end of the podcast, but
Oh,
I believe Green Man, you had a story
dude. Okay.
that you wanted to share before we go off the air.
Yeah, dude. So this is kind of fucked up, and so yesterday, me and the wife went to the swap meet around here. Okay, Kobe's swap meet, and just walk around, dude, and walking over, and I kind of look at one. They some of these guys are like at huge displays. We're just like tons of shit, tables and all this crap. And I walked past one of those and I looked at a box. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a nice wooden box. So I go over and I get another look at it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Because on that box is a name, a born date, and a death date. And I'm like, that's a fucking urn. I'm like, holy shit. They got this poor lady's fucking urn sitting out on this table at a swap meet trying to sell this old chick. And I'm like, oh my god! It's like I show my wife, and she's like, what? I'm like, it's a fucking urn. She's like, what? I'm like, there's some dead motherfucker in this thing. And she's like, oh my god. And I'm like, I'm like, okay. It's like, let me, and I put it down for a second. And I'm like, all right, let me pick it up.
You opened it, didn't you?
No, because it had a plate with screws on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Or otherwise, believe me, dude, I was going to. Because I'm like, I get this, dude. I'm like, sitting there. I'm like, dude, okay, this box shouldn't be this heavy if it's just a box. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm kind of like, trying to shake it, trying to like almost like
Listening
a Christmas present or some damn thing.
How much were they asking for it?
Dude, no, I didn't even
Just
ask.
free.
Because this guy, this other guy was walking by and he's like, oh, that's a nice box. And I'm like, dude. And I tilted and look at him and he's like, oh, and he's like, oh shit, is that thing fucking full? And I'm like, dude, it doesn't feel light enough to be empty, man. And I put it down. And dude, right then and there, one of the little guys that was like part of the crew, dude, comes fucking shuffling over and grabs it, like runs it off, dude. So me and the wife, we're like, we're laughing, and we see him take off with it, and hit around the aisle, come back around the other side of the aisle. So now we're on the other side of this same lot. And we see them, dude, with a screwdriver, and they're cracking it open, dude. And we see them pull like a wad of paper out, and they look at it, and they just kind of put it all back together. I'm like, oh shit, dude. I think they were trying to fucking sell some old lady at the fucking swap meet. dude.
That's crazy.
Uh,
Completely nuts. This is what the world is coming to.
no shit, man.
Yeah, that is. Did they at least look nice? Was it a nice urn?
It was a nice little box. That's what I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, dude, that's a nice little wooden box.
Hmm.
You know, it was interesting shape. You know, and they had other boxes there that that were all around the same kind of size and whatnot, little wooden boxes. But none of the other ones had any names or anything on it. But
So there's a bunch of divot boxes.
yeah.
well,
Don't take
none
that
of them were
home.
covered in wax or anything.
You know that Hellraiser had specifically a pretty little box, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Some company makes that thing. You can buy one of those now. The little
I don't
puzzle
want one.
boxes.
I don't want one. No. I don't need no
Crazy.
pinhead in my house. No.
Fucked up, man.
That'd be a great costume.
Oh, dude, have you ever seen the little Chihuahua? Somebody did a pinhead Chihuahua.
Oh, poor
No.
A
dog.
little all white Chihuahua, dude. They had a little pinhead.
That's messed up.
Speaking of little dogs, Manny, how's your little dogs?
They're
You
all
got a
good.
new one, don't you?
They're all wild and crazy and just nuts. Just nuts.
Little guy
Well,
growing up, pretty big. Is he
Oh
full
yeah,
grown yet?
he's 11 months old, so
All right. Not
he'll
quite.
be a year December 15th actually.
Awesome. We gotta throw a birthday
Yeah.
party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's wild. He is wild, to be honest.
He's
He's
still
hilarious
humping
too.
everything.
You know what? He kind of injured all of his stuffed animals.
Injured.
Yeah, they're all injured. They all have
Out of
stuffing coming
commission
out of
for a
them.
little while.
So now we're
Oh.
getting he's got hard toys basically. So,
Ouch.
but yeah, he's
Ouch.
nuts.
Just the
He's
face. Just the face.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know with him. But that's the end of the podcast today. Thank you guys for joining. Thanks for the Asgardians for being here as well. And in 2 weeks, we'll be back. More info. Hopefully, more news. Right?
Got
Yeah,
it.
I'll be ufologist by then.
Yeah, you'll be fully trained. And
We'll have
probed.
some for the ejection seat. How about that?
He'll
Yeah.
be a diploma richer and $300 fucking in the hole.
Yeah.
But I have an
Well,
ID card.
and the
But he'll
badge.
have a
Yeah.
badge. That's right. and a
Yes.
badge.
All right, y'all.
Hated
Ciao.
badge.
Have a good one, guys.